and welcome back to a personal code of conduct. Today, I didn't even use a mic. I'm not using a mic to record this intro, but today I had a Zoom call with a friend, Timi. We've had him on here, and we have been talking. We talked about like everything, being working adults, like understanding how it feels. We veered off topic. Then went to talk about like childhood traumas, and here it is, like talking about being a human being and dealing with people and just like wanting to know where you are as an adult. And me being shitty at editing, this is almost an hour long. I'll try to probably, if it ends up not being more than 45 minutes, and I did a good work editing, but it's probably going to be an hour long. So it is a personal code of conduct. Let's get into it. So like the whole reason why I wanted to do today's podcast was because of like I wanted to just know about other people's experience being like working adults, like how they felt after like year five, what are they doing, right? Like how are they in their office, how do they work with teams, like what's the first reaction, like I'm going to talk about my is this the only job you've had?
No, I've had quite a few. There was one time I was doing 9 to 5 as well, but that one was in year five, I think. I think it was just after I left year five. I was working with this engineering firm. It wasn't really an engineering firm. Whenever you hear engineering firm, you think like a dedicated office building or something like that. This one was just a repurposed residential building, to be very
Oh god,
honest.
and my experience with that kind of stuff is shitty.
I hate those kind of things because there's no structure. It just feels like you are just playing around or something.
Mm,
Sure, these people might have money. Most of the time, they actually have enough money for this table. But, they don't see the need
I
to
just
go out of
think
their
I could
way
just
to
like
go. And I just feel like you guys could invest a little bit more in this kind of thing. Sure, you can provide laptops for your engineers, which is nice. Great. But this chair I was using was so uncomfortable. God. It was so uncomfortable. And we had to be buying pure water almost every day. I
they
was
didn't
like,
have
we
okay,
could.
they literally didn't have like seaway. Even my office, that my first office, they had seaway.
I think they had seaway in that office too. But when it eventually finished and nobody went to refill it, I don't even think anybody bothered asking the others for money. Everybody just
The fact
somehow
they're
at
paying
some
their
point
salary.
we just got used to buying pure water. And it's usually when we want to eat. And I was the intern then. So I would go and buy like 15 naira pure water. I'll keep it under my table. Then
So
I'll now start giving it, we don't be removing, giving people, giving people, giving people. I shall know I kept my own somewhere. Back when pure water was 5 naira. Anyhow, um, but I did not like it. I did not really like it like that because in the end, it just felt like, and in fact, the thing is, now that I noticed it, what we were doing in the office, we could have all be doing from our houses. It
I
was just
swear.
design. It was just pure design. There was no need for excess talking, except when he wants to have a meeting. I mean, they could have
Let's
done
do
this
it
meeting too
on
like
Teams
this.
now.
They can do it on Zoom, on Google Teams, whatever. Sometimes I think the only meeting I even
I
remember was
think
that one
I
time
was
he
just
said,
excited to work. Like after NYC, because I still don't know what I'm doing in my life, but like after NYC, I was just excited to go somewhere. So when I finished in March, my own mind was like, oh, okay, then the stupid COVID happened and KPMG stopped their recruitment process and other rubbish. Then I was like, whatever, let me just go on Jobberman and like get somewhere. Then I found this random, I don't know, because I was looking for places that had analysts in it. I didn't even know what, I think it was Damla that even told me, like, dude, I think this thing is an ISO company. And I was like, I don't know, I didn't even know what ISO was. And I went there, wrote the exam, did an interview, passed, wrote the exam,
hello.
got called for an interview. And I was just there, like, I didn't even know what ISO was and all this kind of thing. I just went there, wrote their project. It was like questions on project management, and I got the job. And I was just like, I don't know. I was excited to work because my own mind was like, by the end of the year, I'd be out of like by the end of the year, I'd be out of here. And as our end of the year came, I still wasn't out of there. January came, I still wasn't out of there. And it wasn't that it was bad. It was just it reminded me every day that this is not where I wanted to be with my life. Like every day that I am poor. I fucking failure.
Is it the thing is that looking for purpose in your life thing. I feel like it's very overrated. It's very
It's
overrated
not about purpose.
because
Like it's not like I don't
you
mind
know
having a
you
random 9 to 5, but like at least let the work be stimulating and let me, because my happiness is outside in the office. I'm never hoping to have happiness in like in an office. My happiness is outside.
That's the thing. That's the thing. When you say do what you love, I don't usually understand it.
Like
Is
my love is
I'm
not
not
lucrative, and
working for
if you
fun. I'm working for money, madam. I'm working for money. You see, that's why whenever my friends, this my friend like this, I was saying that I wanted to introduce her to one job like this, and I was like, this job is going to be very stressful. And she was like, you don't worry about that. I am not working for fun. I am working for the money. See, there's probably no job I won't be able to do if they are not paying me high enough. I feel like I'll be able to ignore a very high threshold of stress if the pay is really, really, really,
no, I
really,
don't think
really,
I'd be
really,
able to
really
do that.
okay.
Like not because like
But 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 there has to be a law of diminishing return. Like if there's a graph now, and the y-axis is sorry, the x-axis will be salary, and then the y-axis will be stress.
yes,
There is going to be a peak level of stress where no matter how
no,
much you increase the salary, the
stress will
stress
power
must
it.
still cannot go above that. That's my own. But I feel like I have a very okay stress threshold, because if it's, I think the worst type of job that would be suited for me would be something involving manual labor, manual repetitive labor. Jesus Christ. Hey, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus.
God,
As I'm thinking of it, I am banning it away in my life. I'm banning it away in my life. Because I just see some people, they will carry sand from here to there,
and they
here
don't even
to
let
there.
them listen to podcasts or to music or to something.
God of mercy. I see
Like
some of
if
them,
they
they will
ever
have
want to listen to a
earpieces.
podcast, and if they don't in factories, they don't let them listen to music or have podcasts on.
It might be dangerous because you never know, something might happen and you need to be on alert and start jumping or
Please, and when
something
I
before
get
you are.
zoned out, it's the same time as if I was listening to music because my brain is no longer here.
Exactly. It should be a subconscious thing that at least let your main mind be somewhere else. Then your subconscious is doing all these carrying boxes, packaging boxes, all these things that are not stimulating you in any way possible. You know, I can still, if you are giving me like, I don't know, okay, let's be reasonable. Let's say something like $200K a year. That's still okay for a very horrible job. That's still okay. Okay, I can still tolerate a very annoying boss if I'm
No,
earning well
please, I
enough.
cannot
That's
tolerate
still
an
okay.
annoying boss. Oh God.
You
The thing,
cannot.
how do you even work with teammates? Like the one thing is like I want to be heard. I want like my opinion to be heard. But how do you? I always have this like giant insecurity that I'm annoying, and I'm just there like
Yes, Dayo. There's Dayo. You can be very annoying when you don't even mean to. Dayo.
you know
Dayo.
what?
Dayo. I say, it's not. You see, the thing is, I think you've even noticed it now is if you have something important to say. I think it's even something everybody that has teammates nowadays. I don't know. I've not really explored. I've not had that many teams. But there was one time I was in a meeting. Okay, the boss, the oga that I'm still working for now, just told us about how we'll be teaching a couple of schools. Okay, and how the stress would be very. We had to be going to at least 4 schools a day, and that is that
I
that
didn't. Were
just
they
came
even
to me.
close? Like were the schools even close?
The schools, some of them were closed, some of them were not closed. So you have to know how you'll be doing it. He was just he was placing a lot of trust in that we'll be able to do it. He's more of a passionate somebody. He will just give you
No, no, no,
what
don't be doing
emotional
that passionate bullshit thing. Oh, that thing you just do.
charge of
When
anything.
I used to work in
Exactly,
your
exactly.
previous place, you be forming passion. Yeah, are you on the street with us? Like, Baba, are you the one entering bus with us? Like, your passion can go and take
Actually,
Ithaca.
Actually, that thing is the reason why everybody that works with him knows how to respect him is because if it's time to put boots on the ground, he does not shy away. He's probably going to be doing more work than we are doing ourselves. He's like that kind of startup founder that is even putting more work than the developer. That's him. You don't even ever have to consider that this man might be lazy or anything like that. It will never cross your mind. It will never cross your mind. But the thing is, he always likes to go above and beyond. The other partners that were doing this job too, because they divided Lagos into sectors, then they gave us a sector like this. I think Yaba, Mushin, Ikeja side. Then other people had other sectors. We had already started long before other people had even started. He has this go-getter, let's go for excellence attitude. And then he was just like, 4 might be much, but I'm trusting you guys to do it. And we
Don't trust
went, we
me
did it.
anymore.
You see, we went, we did it, we got sick. I got sick, who got sick, this guy got sick. It was terrible. It was
I
terrible.
think that's
And
something that I've decided that because where I currently am, people have a tendency to leave the office late. Not because like there's a mandate, you can work from home and everything, it's because of like traffic. And they're always like, since I'm in the office building, let me continue working. They're like, all the actual work. And this, my teammates is developing that fucking mindset too. And I'm just they're like, oh, you know, we're supposed to finish. We are two, just two of us in this department, just two of us.
wait, I thought you were more people. Why are there only two of you
No, there
now?
are more people, but like it's an ecosystem. It's like it's a group. So I was posted to a particular like individual, it's a group of companies under one umbrella. So I was posted to a particular
Okay.
company, I and this other person.
Okay.
Like some,
So it's
you know,
like
like
an
we're in financial
alliance.
services. So like under one umbrella, there's an insurance company, an asset management company, a registrar's company, a bank, a merchant bank, because merchant banks don't do brokers people. They don't do people, they don't do commercial people. There's all sorts of everything you want.
That's okay. That's still okay. Anyways, where was I? Anyway, so in the end, after that first month where we smashed through the KPI, we eventually, after talking to him, he eventually understood. Because you see, the worst thing was that the pain was not equivalent to the stress. The stress was nowhere close to the pay. I was using like 30% of the pay on transportation alone.
Transport.
And
We didn't have like a transport allowance.
no, everything was supposed to come out of the salary. So
That doesn't no like because
he
there's supposed to be like even the random ass place that I hated and I left, like there was like a list of transport, like they wanted to do Uber, no money for that kind of shit. So like there was an approved list of transport. So if you're going from here to here, this is the money we give you. And so it was always like 100 naira more than like the actual bus fare, just so it would be like okay, maybe it's more expensive than because I had to go into like different
okay.
companies. Like I was a
Okay.
freaking lesson teacher in that place because like people want to get certification, they don't want to understand the material, they don't want to develop the documents, they don't want to read for the exam, they just want to pass.
They just want to pass exactly. And I'm sure it's the same reason why that Ikoyi building crashed. Somebody went to get governor's consent. The governor did not retreat. The regulation bill did not retreat. They just gave them money. They signed off on it, and something that's supposed to be 5 story now became 22 story.
He said, I think it was 15.
I don't know. The
It's not
story is
like the
not
building
adding
has
up.
fallen down.
The story exactly. All we know is the building was most likely increased beyond its
Yeah, I know that's
theoretical.
a definite thing.
That one is a definite
No,
thing.
but then
So
again,
whether it's five or whether
it
it's
now puts
15.
to question other buildings in that area. Is it King's Tower or like Capa de Alberto they want to start questioning?
That's the thing. If they now have to start looking at, because I saw the other buildings beside it, and they looked all alike. They looked the same. It was like they've already done the same thing for all these other buildings, and they're just repeating the same thing again with this building. And I was so scared because I just it felt like this thing could spark a domino effect, and then the
Mm-hmm.
entire estate or the whole thing would just come crumbling down. That's like hundreds to thousands of deaths easily. If the thing now enters the expressway, because it was right next to the express, there's almost every
That'd be
house
like
is close
car
to
pilot.
the. It'll not be like a pilot. The
Oh
traffic will
yeah,
be
like then
packed.
random shit. Like after like let's say we hit the 30 minutes, like the like 1 hour mark, I'm just going to stop recording and let's talk about things that I wouldn't want to put on a podcast.
Anyways, so now one thing I've learned as being young working adult. Oh God, it feels so weird to say that.
Where like I'm
Um,
probably like 17. I'm not even 17. I'm 12 in my mind. Like I'm the human being that, because I know I'm definitely not the human being that entered JS1. That person was a bitch. Like I'm the human being that entered SS1. I'm the exact same fucking human being. She has not changed.
well, the me of high school was the me now are drastically different human beings. If the me now met the me of high school, I might slap him. If the me now
Yeah,
met the
what was
me
he
of
like? What was he like?
the me of high school was insecure, had a low self-esteem, but the me of high school was a low budget bully because I figured if you bully other people and verbally abuse them, they wouldn't do the same to you. It backfired. They called me names. I called them names. They hurt me and I hurt them back, and it was just a cycle of
Even
hurting
then, I
and
think people need to ever
pain.
have that conversation. Like, because people are just, I've been trying to speak up about like if something bothers me, but there's always that giant insecurity. And I know where this fucking insecurity came, because I remember the day it happened. I was in fucking GS1, and somebody was, I think I came third position, but I was an asshole because I came from a better school. But my mom like moved it to another school because my sister's lesson teacher was from that school, and she really liked like the help we put my sister towards passing her WAEC. So she was like, okay, the school is a good school. And I was like, this cheap as fuck, horrible school in the middle of nowhere, like in a neighborhood I'd never go to. And I had to start going to that school. So I was just like, I wasn't even really studying, but I was certain that I was going to do better than everybody. And I came third position. And this dumb fuck was like now wanted to hold it over my head that, because I won't deny it. I don't even remember what I said, but it was like horrible classist shit that I said. But I was 9, leave me alone. I was 9. And he wanted to hold it over my head that I wasn't first position. Shasha, like I
Uh,
sucked it up and I decided to become friends with the people that were first and second. And the thing is, I knew nobody wanted to be friends with me because I was an asshole. I was asshole to anybody who got less than sixth position.
my God, you are an asshole. My God, such classist behavior.
So when I
I
now
mean,
became,
there was one time I did the same thing. I think we were in the middle of a maths lesson. They combined both classes, the science and art class. This was SS then. And they asked this girl in the art or commercial, I don't even know, it's not science. They asked this girl one simple math equation, and then when they asked her to solve it, she said she couldn't solve it. And the thing is, maybe deep down in my mind, I'd always been looking down on her because she was just like this social butterfly, just playing around, doing all these things. And then I just looked at her and I let my disappointment come out in words. I just said something horrible in front of the whole class. I was in the front of the class because even back then my vision was maybe 9/20. And then I just turned to her, this short, very attractive girl who, probably focus on different aspects of life than most people would. And I just said it. And today, I don't know exactly what I said, but I know that it was mean, it was unnecessary. The master teacher looked at me. He knew I was right, but he didn't like the way I said it. But he just didn't say anything at all. He just
that was
moved on.
horrible. I
He
remember
just
saying something similar to that to SSU. I think she said, the thing is that I don't remember what people do to hurt me, but I remember what I do to hurt other people. And then this is like the total opposite of the Yoruba proverb. Other than that one person, I don't even, the
exactly.
thing is that I don't remember the face of the
You-
person. I just know I know where this insecurity comes from. In SS2, this one, I told one, actually, I know she said something hurtful to me in the morning. And I didn't even remember what she said. Even at the time I was saying the mean thing back, I didn't remember what she said to me in the morning. Like, I don't know, I just have this habit of blocking any negative thing that someone says to me. But I just knew
I
like maybe
forget.
enough that I wanted to say something mean back. So she called me for help because I was like in like senior secondary school, I stopped being a bitch. And I was like, I actually was helping people study. Okay, as one, I was still a bitch. Because I told one chick that was only my friend because she liked my grades that I didn't like.
My God.
I think she wanted to do like proof because like I got like 65 in chemistry and she got 66, and she was like, because she used to try to copy me, then I was like, don't sit next to me. Then she didn't sit down next to me. She worked her ass off and she got 1 mark higher than me. And then she was able to like beat me for that semester. But like she couldn't maintain it the next term. I was interesting. And then like SS2, I made a conscious decision to stop being a trash human being because I was like, why am I like it's not that deep to be an asshole. It doesn't make any sense. Then SS.
You see that moment of introspection, it's always best that you have it early.
Yes.
When you are still able to change. Mine didn't come in secondary school. Mine came towards the end of college even. You see, the problem is when you don't interact with people like I did, if I was mostly in the office, I exclude myself like my father always says, if I wasn't there to, read or attend lectures, I hardly ever interacted with people more than I needed to. So there was never this scenario where I had to face a mirror and then look at myself, like look deep into myself. It now turns out that it's not having a relationship during the NYC year that I now had to be doing a lot of soul searching and looking inwards and doing all of that and all of that and all of that. And I just discovered that my life
Probably
so
come back
far
to this once I stop recording. Like once I stop recording, we should come back to that.
exactly has been not so great. Anyways, I wished that I knew all of these things. I wish that I could look back. I wish that this wisdom, it's not as if I've lived so long, but this wisdom to be able to see that when people hurt you, it's not an excuse for you to hurt them back. That hurting people is not a sign of strength. In fact, most of the time, some people didn't even hurt me at all. You just wanted
to do it.
I wanted to be the asshole in charge, and I looked up to assholes. I looked up to people who insulted other people, who mocked their features, who called them names. And they felt like they were on top of the world. And I wanted to be like that. And that was why some of my friends would call me follow, because it was like a certain set of people, whatever they did, I tried to emulate. I just wanted to feel among. I wanted to feel. And I never realized that it was okay to just be, it was okay to just be
like yourself.
You didn't have to go that far. I mean, I still remember the day I made this female classmate of mine kind of chubby a little. It wasn't me, maybe I wasn't the only one. So I'm probably not to blame alone. But I remember that the two of us were, making the usual, mocking her features, mocking her size, making jest of her. We called her Omiero, like she's broth soup, because she was big and soft and juicy. I don't know how a human being can look juicy, but she was all of that. And one day she just broke out crying. I think it was after school lesson. She broke out crying. And I actually felt bad, and not because she was crying, because it felt like it wasn't me that hurt her. It was more of the other guy that hurt her enough for her to cry. That means she took his own words.
That's a low point to me. That is not because it was crying. It was because you were not
the one that hurt her the most. It felt like as if my own insults didn't matter enough to her. And I wanted to hold that kind of power over somebody.
What kind of
I wanted to be able to hurt somebody. I didn't like, you see, when somebody you don't respect, if they insult you, you don't feel anything. But somebody you respect, somebody you consider their words to be true, consider their words to be, law. Once they see it, important, exactly, I wanted to feel important. I wanted to feel important to this person I hurt. And getting her to cry almost made me feel important. And sure, I was good grade. I had good grades, not the best grades. French and Yoruba always pulled me down, but it was okay. It was okay. And sometimes I rub it in people's faces. Whenever they called me big head, I say because my brain is big and something. It was, a bit narcissistic. It was grandstanding. It was like, but I just wanted to hold on to a sense of self, a sense of importance. I just wanted to be,
And
because
the
I
thing is
didn't
that
even
some
know.
people actually hold this thing for their mind. Because I remember the chick that are in SS2, that no, it was even SS3. I don't remember the horrible thing that she said. But she asked me for help to study, and I was like, at this age, you don't know so like literally the entire room turned because I don't say mean things. Like people knew me to never say mean things. People knew me to either help or disappear. And I don't know, I try to defend myself. I know you've already gotten representation of being a nice person, that people already did the whole, well, if she said it, then it must be justified. So I got off the like social like exclusion of saying such a horrible thing because I had a reputation for being a good person. I think it was immediately after uni, like immediately after secondary school, she called me like just to find out like what I've been doing. Everybody wants to know where the asshole brilliant kids are. Like they want to feel like they had their shit. Like it doesn't mean that you were better than me. Like you get like they just want that feeling so bad, and I'm just there like I don't get like okay like why would you let something that somebody did define you so much? Like I know that people have said horrible things to me, but I just don't remember them. Like even though I know I'm still holding that insecurity from GS1, but that's the only one I remember. Like literally, somebody has come up to me. I was like, I want to be like you, that you don't care. And I was like, I sat down to think that I don't care. Of course I cared, and I realized I did not fucking care.
You see, the thing is, I've forgotten most of them because time heals all wounds, normal stuff. But there are still a few that I don't know. They are like the bedrock of my trauma, the foundation on which all of it is built. You cannot, the top can be blown away by the winds of time, but the foundation, it
So
takes longer for the erosion to happen to those ones. I still remember some of the meanest things my father said to me. I still remember the one time this girl turned back and called me ugly straight to my face in front of the entire class. And I looked at her and I knew that she believed it to be absolutely true. And in that moment, I also believed it too. I never actually felt
that thing
handsome
is
or
what
beautiful.
makes I think that's what makes things hurt when you know that that individual believes it to be true. Like, it's one thing if somebody, like, people often used to say that, oh, bullies are insecure, but not all the bullies are insecure. Some bullies, even if they're insecure about things in their own life, for that particular thing, they are sure they're superior to you about it. That's what gives them the confidence to bully you about something. So that is
Exactly
what
when you
like
have some body issues or the likes, and they always like to point it out. They always like to show you. It's like from a young age, they already knew what an objectively okay or perfect human being is supposed to be. And the moment you fell out of that spectrum, the moment you did not conform to those ideals, they always reminded you, they always used it against you. And at some point, you have to learn to either laugh. You have to laugh. You always have to learn to laugh with them so that they know it doesn't hurt you. Because if they know it hurts you, they know they have power over you.
oh
And I did not learn that one on time. God.
no, the thing is that my solution is not to laugh. My solution is just to ignore. Like I let you know that I don't appreciate this, but I also let you know that you are not an important being. Maybe because a lot of my self-esteem was tied to like my academic performance. It's not that my parents didn't even give a shit whether or not I did well in school. It's me that just woke up one morning. I was like, fuck that shit, I'm going to do well in school. And I tied a lot of my like self-esteem to it. And I was really surprised when I got to like uni, I was able to just easily let that go. Because if senior secondary school me saw my uni self, she'd hate herself for not being on in first class.
We always want first class until the third year rolls in, and then all of your steam and momentum has
No, the thing is that I don't know, I
faded
just
away, and
stopped
life is starting to get to
caring.
you.
Like it's not
I
even
didn't
it
even know
wasn't
what depression
a
was until I
situation of
graduated.
it wasn't like I just it just didn't bother me anymore. I just wanted to, like, I didn't want to go beyond, do beyond extra ultra anymore. This was the required work. I completed my homework on time. I made sure my assignments, I made sure everything, I read the entire curriculum, and whatever I did was enough to give me a 2-1, and that was the end. I think if you do the required work, there's no way you're not going to get a 2-1. I wasn't ready to do any plus ultra anymore. Like after like year 2,
Exactly.
I
No
wasn't ready.
plus ultra in again. No, nothing again. It's just straightforward. As little stress as possible.
Yes,
That's
because
all.
I really enjoyed just relaxing and I just like sometimes I'm angry at my uni stuff. Like, why weren't you more ambitious? Or like why weren't you more like the thing is I'm still like that. It's like, why didn't you feel hunger? Like my brother always says this thing because my brother is a very driven human being, very, very ambitious. And a lot of his ambition has come to fruit. And he's always like, why are you not more like ambitious? And I'm like, I cannot give myself the energy to care. It's not like it's a bad thing or anything. So like for what? It's like why?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't get that thing about. I think this also applies to work-life situation. You see, you can always tell people that are doing the bare minimum, that are doing okay, and that they are going above and beyond plus, 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 ultra, plus. All those kind of people that do the plus, ultra thing, their ambitions are sky high. And just
Like why do you
looking
want
at
the
their
ambition? Like that's my problem.
I
Ambition.
always
Why?
ask, what is driving you? Why? Is it money? Is it to live a good life? What? You just, they feel so alien to me sometimes. Maybe because I'm just a lazy, do the bare minimum kind of
No, the thing
human
is,
being.
I'm not a do the
And
bare minimum. I'm a follow the procedure, make sure it comes out right, appropriate,
yeah,
perfect. But I will never kill
yeah,
myself for that thing. Like I think I already have my limits. Like I believe in structure. If you have structure, there's no way you can fail. You might not be the top of your field, but you will have something that is reliable, reproducible, and is consistent.
exactly. Consistency. To be able to get average or above average results
You
every
don't even
single
have to be
time.
above
If
average. You
you
can get good results every single time if you have a structure.
every single
Not that you
time, every
burn
single time.
yourself out
That's
for
the thing
one
is the thing is
result.
that's the kind of mindset I'm even using to enter this data science, data analysis stuff. I'm not expecting to become a guru or the best of the best in the world. I'm not even setting my sights on getting awards or doing anything groundbreaking.
I remember
I
a
just
year
want
old
it
me
to
wanted a
be
Nobel Prize in physics.
who.
8 year old me, 8 years old me.
Oh my god. It's what you wanted stress. Anyways, I just want a situation where if I get a job, I can do my job. That is all.
But the thing is that
Do your
coming
job
from like
well.
being a third world adult, there's this like entire thing where you have to wonder like the stability of your country, the viability of like your offspring and whatever. If you even intend to have
Exactly.
offspring. Because I don't know, I'm
Exactly.
getting like my window stuff. Because I kept on like office place, like it's Sunday, I didn't go anywhere, and everybody's always like, people always like, oh, you're a Muslim, and I'm like, I'm not. So they was like, which church do you attend? I'm like, what's up the banner? What if I'm a Shango worshiper? Fuck you now.
You should say that one of these days just to see their reaction.
I know, right?
It will be bad though. The rumors about you will be unsavory.
But I don't get it. Like, are they saying that the very foundation of our culture is fucked up? Like, it's demonic. But then again, that's how religions proliferate. They have to demonize the one that came before it.
There has to be an enemy.
Yeah.
You always have to fight against. The whole premise of Mountain of Fire is fight something, burn something, fire something. Okay? If you don't believe there's no enemy, there's no drive to want to be under the protection of a grand deity that will want to protect you from said enemy, which is why the
I think
concept of heaven
there
cannot
is an
exist if
enemy,
there's
but
no
you're not
hell.
important enough for that enemy. Like, the enemy in my mind is just like the mass of humanity. Like, and the individuals that are able to control the more mass have the more power. And if you're on the wrong side of what the individuals or the individual group of individuals that is able to control the most mass, then you're unfortunate.
Unfortunately, it's definitely true. Anyways, one thing I've noticed about working is that I don't think anything I earn will ever be enough. Like
But have
enough.
you like specified what you wanted?
Like
Like
first
specify
I
like
was
do you
thinking like
want to leave this country? Do you want money to travel?
that's the
Do you
thing.
want like
The living
what?
the country part is still in flux. It's very high. The thing is, I want to be a professional before I leave the country. I do not want to
Yes,
leave the country to
and
start
become
learning
what
new
place?
things.
No.
I want to be able to leave the country, land, and then I just put out my something. I get a few offers. In fact, I want to have gotten a few offers before I even leave gone. So I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm staying. I know what I'm doing. I've paid rent. I've done this. I've done that. As I'm coming like this, I'm settling in, just enjoying a weekend or a week, and then the next week I resume work, something like that.
That's something.
If
Another thing
possible,
about work, like, is like, how do you tell people or your team that you're dissatisfied? Like, I don't know. I'm just. I don't know where. Like, I'm terrified about. Like, my most like response to problem is to avoid it. Like individuals, if I find I cannot mesh well with you, I just avoid you. But like in an office, you cannot do that one. You can't just decide I want a different team member or something. Like how
that's the
do you
thing. That's the thing. The disappointment will enter your voice a little. Like sometimes you do something and the person doesn't meet up to that
no, but
expectation. I
then
don't know
again,
why my Oga.
how would you feel if somebody is better at doing that than you? Like the person you are working with is already a pro at
That's
X.
the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. If the person is a pro, it's never a bad thing to ask for help.
No, I'm
Oga,
saying no, it's
we
not
are
the
doing the
person
same
is a
work.
pro at the work. The person is a pro at like the emotional stuff of like so really that's what you're going to do? Like asking if you're sure every time, or like trying to push doubt in your mind. Like the person is an expert at it. And you're starting to wonder like,
Oh,
is this person doing it on purpose or because there are some people that they never realize that that behavior is manipulative and shitty. That is just their behavior. But the scary thing is
yes, and
if
you
they have
foster
realized and
self-doubt.
they have continued and they've tried to improve because it has given them like the best result. Those kind of individuals are fucking scary. I think you can't just broach the subject to somebody you work like. How do you even tell if they're because there's some people that they just continue being manipulative because it felt good, and there are some people that they recognize that they are being manipulative and they put in
And they
effort.
do it on purpose.
They put in effort to
I
improve.
think I think there was one time that I felt like directly being emotionally, manipulated at work one time like this. We're in a meeting, and the way Oga was acting, he knew that he cannot be the one to break this kind of news to us because there's going to be a huge backlash. So he called a meeting with the people we were supposed to work with, one of their representatives. That one came and she told us all what the job would be about. It was like a continuation of that school job, and that school job barely paid what we would have preferred to get before. But it was still okay. It was still okay. I mean, it's something they could pay you for 9 to 5, but you wouldn't be doing it for 9 to 5, even though it's really stressful or something. But okay, you can still try and resolve the idea in your head. But this one, she wanted us to be going Mondays to Fridays to a location far from us, then wait all day long to attend to people that are coming with problems. Do that for
That's
four
already a
weeks
nine to
and then
five
pay
now.
us.
That's even worse.
That's already a 95 and pay us 30K.
What the fuck? Like what the actual fuck?
And it was in that moment that it dawned on me, this is why Oga did not want to say it himself. He wanted it because it might feel as if maybe they paid him more and he now went to keep some and then he's not paying us this. He now brought it to us. Now, if he had just left it at that, I would have understood. The problem is he was not trying to add flavor to what she was saying. Like these people have already given us work before. And it's because they trust us that they're bringing this work to us again, something, 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 something,
Bullshit.
and and I did not like the idea of it. I did
I
not like
mean,
where this was going. I didn't.
everybody keeps
It
saying,
just felt so
okay.
wrong, and I did not
What?
like it at all. I didn't like it at all because, in fact, it was so bad that I feel like one of my friends, because that one is a student, so money is never really stable for him, and he was considering it, and then he came to me because I don't know why he likes coming to me sometimes. Maybe because I'm the most outspoken one. Because it was me that came. It was me that was asking questions in that meeting. Like, sorry, this 30K, is it like for once a week? We just go there, we show our face, we handle the problem, we go back. Okay, that's still okay. But she said, okay, no, we'll confirm later, we'll confirm later. Later on, they confirmed, they now sent it to us via text that it will be Mondays to Fridays every day. And then at that moment, I
Like,
just put,
fear did not catch them. That's
no,
the problem that
it's
I
the
have with
lack of
human
fear
beings
of
in
God.
general. Everybody's always like, they're not paying workers enough, blah blah blah. My boss this. Okay, become a boss, and they all of a sudden they
You
don't have
see, the
people
thing
to
is,
pay workers
when
enough.
they say that this thing was be out of their hands, I can actually believe them a little because it's a government job. It's not a proper government job. It's a Lagos State government job. Lagos State government job, from the way I've been asking around, is they usually like to fuck up. They usually like to fuck up. You can come with
This
your
I heard
own.
from like Biola from Biola when she was in NYC was that they're stealing people's salary in government, in state government. Like when she was in NYC, I was just
Obviously, no. Obviously, no. They can make fake salary earners. They'll just
not
be
even
an
the fixed
empty
salary, the
account
ones
that.
that are there. What is on your pay slip is not what's entering your account, and the government is paying it complete. It's happening inside the building.
Blood of Jesus.
I swear. But then again, I don't
Actual
know
theft.
actual theft.
I won't put it past Lagos State. I won't put it
No,
past. Anyways, you
it's
can
not
come.
the government, it's individuals within your ministry.
It's all the same thing. It's the corruption that started from the beginning to the
That's
very
why
end.
somebody was always like they're always like nurses are cruel, they can watch people die if you don't give them money. I'm just like, if a clerk that wants to collect a document for you will not collect it, if a clerk in the court of law wants to collect your affidavit from you and doesn't want to type it without bribe, what's more in us? If it has reached
Exactly.
people handling paper, why not people handling liver? It has reached everywhere.
You see, the thing is, when there's no repercussions to this kind of thing, when there's no, you see, you can never trust people to do right by you. You can always believe in the power of consequences. That's
Yes.
one thing you should always. That's one thing I
And it
whenever
always
I used
annoys me
to.
when people expect like what's the word? People who are disadvantaged people to have higher moral standards. Where they're always like, oh, it's even your own people. Like especially the most people that say these kind of things are usually like
No,
self-basis
no,
people. And I'm just
no.
like, no,
Everybody,
everybody's trash.
everybody, everybody has the propensity to be a thief. Everybody has the propensity to be trash. It's highly disciplined people that you see that without any supervision, they don't fuck up. It's only highly disciplined people. Me, can I fry plantain without eating it? Eh? Much less you now put money in my hands. I know
But the
nobody
thing
is
is that
looking
you
at me.
can't.
Nobody will say
So you've
anything.
gotten to a certain point. Like the thing is, when you have like a certain level of safety nets, like there's a way that I behave that I'm just like, it's because I've not seen hunger in my life. That's why I'm
Exactly. Because there's one time like this. I bought bread. The bread was stale, like really stale. I couldn't eat it,
without.
and then I considered going back to go and return it and demand my money. That woman would have given me my money, but I just looked at her. I was just like, the stress to go back. It's this and this. Somebody who has not been a different person would have gone back, demanded everything. A different person would have been like, you haven't given me my 15 naira change. A different person would have been like, because there was one time like this, we were eating at this place and these people were owing us some certain amount of change. I was just thinking that Baba would just be like, oh yeah, fine, you guys can be going. But he kept waiting for the 15 naira change, and I was like, Baba, we're in a jeep now. There's really no need to be asking for 15 naira change again at this point. Oh, disturbing everybody. You could just drive off and forget about it. I forget change with lots of people sometimes, and I don't mind unless I remember and I'm like, I can use this change, all this change to buy a drink. Let me go and buy a drink, and I'm going. Once you are comfortable enough, the drive to steal is low. You
Yes.
get
Or not
once
even
you are
comfortable
the
enough, like
problem.
once you reach your level of satisfaction.
The problem is
Because
the
you might be
amount of greed
comfortable by your peers, but like I would even say ambitious because this one is greed. Like you want
the
things.
amount of greed that some people can show. You have enough money, you can spend it, you never finish, but you just keep accumulating it. You just keep looking for things to buy, things to invest in. You want to at some point you have to be like, it's
The thing
okay
is that,
now.
about that in the beginning when you said your friend said like, oh, like much you ever working in things that you'd probably still work, but your work could be focused on what is interesting you at the moment, like your desire to learn.
Exactly. It will not now be work again, it will be hobby. I will
Yes.
now rename it to hobby because I cannot do something called work and be enjoying myself. I don't like that. It's confusing my brain. So I will call it a hobby. If I can still make some money from it, that's fine. I can even make myself a anime reviewer. I can go on TikToks. I can go on social media. I can maybe even make a YouTube. I have people that will be doing all the tech and all the video camera
Everything
stuff.
and everything.
But I'll just be there. I'll just be there. I'll
And you
just be living
realize
my
that it's
best
still
life.
going to be work because it's going to take effort to prepare a script, effort to like research, all those kind of things.
Effort to research, but I will just try to have as much fun as possible. Whatever thing I make, I think there's this guy on TikTok. He's very popular, Han Green or so. He does his own TikTok stuff, and the money he makes from it, he sends it to charity. Someone like that, without him saying it, that is okay. It's okay.
Like for the fact
Yeah, I
that
think
TikTok money hasn't tempted in things like not like how YouTubers, like different kinds of YouTubers, like there are some that they are doing the same kind of business, but one is sponsor every 5 minutes with questionable people, and one is like take like, and one is like it's only on a once in a very blue moon that you see a sponsor on that video. And it's like they're paying these people are like making the same amount of money, the same amount, but one is like make sure he's getting extra source of income. And that's how you find out that the other one that is like not doing sponsors, it's not because of his integrity is choking him. It's just doing sponsor work is stress. People will be expecting you to say particular things. And it's just like
exactly. You have to meet up to the sponsors' demands. You have to do all of this. Sponsors will have all these requirements and everything. And if it's too stressful, someone like Hungry now, you might come up, you might even convince him to advertise for you for free. He will do it, no stress. I've never seen an ad on his page before. Yes, I think he was even telling us the one I watched now. He was saying something about $900,000 have been devoted to something medical, something, and he was thanking all of us for our patronage and our this and that we have successfully done this together, and he's proud of us. And I'm like, you see, this kind of person, they are chill. They are chill. If someone like this now, you can trust
it's
him
not
to
only not having
you
money, it's also about being content.
be content. Once you are content, they give you money to pay a salary to people. Your eyes will not go where it's not supposed to go. You will pay them their salary and everybody's going. You don't like stress. You don't want somebody to be coming to you and begging you, my something, 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 my child's fees are this, are those, are that. You don't, no stress, I beg, please. Take your money, go. But the moment I catch you slacking off at work, I will come, I'll give you query, I'll give you all these things. But I don't know. It's the lack of content to me. This is why the people that are still millions and billions, I don't understand. Why are
But
you
then
using all
again,
this money
that lack
for?
of content can also be another thing. It's one thing that you literally do not have. Like, there's one thing is that if you are not used to a certain standard of living, like if you are used to a certain standard of living and you lose it all, I feel it's going to be more painful than if you never had that standard of living and you never will. Like, it's one thing to
Exactly.
for people to
Exactly.
be
People
like,
like now, someone like me and you now, we cannot compare our own level of contentment to somebody that is in Banana Island.
yes.
Okay. Somebody who was born, raised there, who will go to a shop, they will see Dunlop
Tell me
slippers,
more
see
about
10K as
shop.
it.
This person in Banana Island, they are rich even by American standards.
Okay. They'll go to a shop, they see Dunlop slippers, they see it is 20K or 50K, they buy, they say like, okay, this is okay. But then they now come here, they come to the mainland and someone's trying to give them a job and the job is like only 500K a month. Someone like me and you now, that might be okay. 500K a month is not bad. Let's not lie.
It's not bad at all.
It's not bad. But to somebody like that now, it's not like, this is only $10 slippers now.
And then when
This is
they
only
think in
$10
dollars,
slippers.
those banana land people don't even think in naira.
Exactly. All those people that like to think in dollars. You know, when I know somebody is rich, when they come to Nigeria and then they are tweeting, they are doing normal stuff, and then one time like this, they want to buy something. They see a price, they convert it to dollars, and they say, "Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough." Like there was this woman like this on Twitter. She was complaining about the neighbor's chicken that kept on waking up, kept on waking up. She now sent the caretaker. The fact that she has a caretaker already tells you enough to ask how much the chicken is. The guy came, he told her one price like this that I shudder to mention. She converted it to dollars. She was like, okay, it's not too bad, it's not too bad. Oh, yeah, buy it. Ha, ha. Everyone wants to convert everything to dollars. It looks small, madam. It looks small. It's not small. Madam, it's not small. She said she enjoyed eating it. Ah,
Whole
that's
chicken
the
is like
kind of life I
2,000
want.
or 3,000. Okay, 4,000 if they've kept the chicken alive fast is like normal.
That's the Ikorodu prices. The place she's living, you can expect to be finding full chicken for 10K, 15K sometimes. So
They're not even selling smoked chicken that price.
they will say something like, what's it called? That it is a full-grown, natural growth, healthy, something, something, something.
There should be organic
Well,
in there. With the amount of chemicals that we
eh,
post at the third one, I will like make it to 80. Like, like they can't even say the whole like
plenty
people
people.
living in the third world are natural eating from the ground. No, we're eating worse food. The most inorganic
Um,
pesticide covered shit.
we eat nonsense, which is why if I get a chance to go into cultivation world, or maybe the world's spiritual key reawakens, I will go and do body cultivation immediately, body tempering. Let me just remove all the impurities. You know all those things where they tell you where black sludge comes out of their pores and everything, and they now feel better afterwards and all of those things. I want that thing to happen to me. I'm worried about what will come out of me. God. I'm worried. I'm worried as fuck. I'm worried that my own will be the blackest one because because my shit because I just wake up sometimes and I just feel in my bones that Timi, you are unhealthy. God, you're unhealthy. Timi, you're not healthy.
It has been a personal code of conduct, and that was the bullshit I was doing.